Right guys, so we are here at a brand new fresh week at GVE London. So a very, very exciting time because we've had a lot of lovely stock flying in. So starting off over here with this Urus Performante factory satin paintwork. In fact, I don't think this one's going to be around for long because the last Performante we had, you guys may or may have not have picked up on it, but it was the white one with all the carbon on the outside. That flew out, but the guy wanted satin PPF over it and it just transformed the car altogether. This one is factory matte paintwork. So it contrasts beautifully with the gloss carbon on there. You can see the gloss carbon that goes around and actually sets off really nicely against satin paintwork, which actually on this time is from factory. Now there's not only cars coming in, we've also got cars going out. There's a Lamborghini Huracan just around the back, which is getting prepared to go onto the turntable. Straight after another Urus gets pictured. Uruses are in fact probably one of our best selling cars when it comes to the winter months because you get performance and you get usability. And in fact, something else as well has just flown in. The brand new 2024 facelift G63. We just had two of these babies come in because the last time we had one in, which was the Magno edition, you guys may have seen it, it was in one of the episodes of Behind the Scenes, but it didn't last a week. The car flew out and they're still doing about 10 or 15,000 pounds over list. So to think, when you think about it, 2 years ago with the previous generation G63 Magno editions, they were doing about 50 grand over list. So actually a pretty good bargain in today's market. You might want to watch that Urus before you get run over. Something else interesting actually, now that I'm looking around, there's new cars and cars going out everywhere. So it's hard to keep up with it, but we've got this, the B5 Alpina. Now, it's not, I have to put my hands up, it's not something I know a great deal about, but they do have a cult following. And I've realized as soon as this car came in, everyone was just crowding around it. They're sort of just creaming their pants looking at the car. And I just can't get excited about it because me personally, I would take for that sort of money a McLaren any day of the week. But the same people who love that sort of things would love this. Now this is interesting. It's an 8 Series which has just come into stock. But in fact, before it came to us, it's a good client of mine who's bought a lot of his cars in his collection through me and said that I need to offload this, but it needs a lot of work done to it. So we sent it over to Unit E where it had a full respray. Car's been restored to almost like a pristine condition. We even got the interior out, the seats, got those recolonized, did the wheels, got them chrome polished, full paint work. I mean, the car looks immaculate. Really interesting bit. Now this, once again, I mean, I can carry on talking about every car in it because there's just so much going on, but this Sprinter doesn't look like much on the outside. However, if you open up the doors and see the inside, obviously all of it lights up and you've got the whole comfort and the luxury side of things. Installing Starlink to it, which for those of you that don't know, Starlink is Elon Musk's own broadband provider and it can go anywhere. So they use it in yachts, they use it in jets. So if you're driving through the desert in this Sprinter, which I don't advise you do, but if you were, your Starlink should still give you internet. But anyways, let's get straight into the week and let's see what's going on. There's enough talking about it. Let's see the action. Hi, George speaking. Hi, yes. I'm assuming the car's still available. Okay. What's the general condition of the car like? And what's the reason for sale, if you don't mind me asking? Oh, really? What else do you have? Very nice. The 992 GT3 RS. Okay. Is there much movement on the price? I'm actually calling from GVE, we're one of the biggest supercar dealerships in the UK, and I've got a client who's looking for an LT as it stands. We had a chicane grey one which sold a little while ago, and he's been on my case to try and source him another one since. So I've seen this pop up. I think you've had this up for sale a little while now, but I could potentially try and get him into this if we, well, firstly I need to make sure he's happy with the spec, and then secondly, if we can come to an agreement on figures. Let me have a chat with my customer and see where he stands. But I'm just thinking out loud over here, seeing that you're saying you've got a couple of other cars and you don't get to drive this much. Would you consider a consignment sale? I can see you're based in London. We're also in London as well. And if I can look at returning you sort of the figure that you're advertising it for, would that be something you'd consider? Okay. Sorry, I didn't catch your name. Michael, okay. And this is your best contact number? All right, Michael, let me have a quick chat with my client, and yeah, if I can put an offer in to buy it outright, I will do straight away. If not, then yeah, let's proceed to talk about how we can get this car sold for you and get you the maximum amount of money back. I'll call you back shortly, Michael. Thanks. Cheers. Thank you. Bye. That'd be amazing seller. He said he's got too many cars. He doesn't get to drive this. So I was like, would you consider it? And he's like, yeah, it could be an option. We could talk about it.
What was retail on that car, would you reckon?
I haven't had a look at it yet, but our chicane grey one had similar mileage, similar age, but it had missed a couple of services and we sold that for 280. We had an orange one which sold for just under 280. So if the market hasn't fluctuated much over the last 4 months, then I would say that we should be able to get around 280 on this. It's got a carbon exposed bonnet. It looks like a good enough spec. It's carbon packs 1 and 2. So yeah, unless there's been something dramatically cheap that's come on since 3 months ago, then it's definitely a 280 car. But we'll have a quick look. There's only 4 LTs on the market. How the f? I take it back. It's probably close to 290. It's gone up in value.
Is that just
nice.
Is that just driven by the lack
Supply
of
and demand. There's lack of choice out there, and the only ones that are advertised is an orange one. The only other coupe you can get is an orange car that's done double the mileage, which is up for sale at 280. So in comparison, I'll say this is easily 290. The orange one's got less spec. Yeah, and this guy is asking 275 online. That is... We need to get this car in. Comfort seats is always ideal. Not king, but it's ideal. Because funny enough, not many people track their LTs. They like to actually use them on the road. But I've got his number. I'm going to send him a message on WhatsApp now.
What happened?
Oh, he's just messaged me back asking how long does he think it would take me to sell it. So that's always a positive. So I'm going to send him a quick message back saying, in fact, let's do a voice note. Hey Michael, I think time is of the essence at the moment. Looking online, there's only another coupe which is up for sale, which is up for 280 and it's done double the mileage. I personally see your car, like I said, going for 290. And now is the time to do it because there's nothing else really to compare it to. So if I can get a trailer to collect the car, it'll be covered completely under our insurance. I'll make sure no one is able to drive the car. It'll be parked in our showroom. Or even better, if you can come down to the showroom and drop the car off to us and I can get you dropped back. I just need to get some pictures of it, get some social media content. We'll get the car advertised at 290. And considering the market is so bare on the LT front, I don't see why this car shouldn't sell very quickly. There's hardly any other comparisons out there. And an LT is pretty much an investment car for the moment. So I'll be proactively calling my clients, telling them to come down and offer private viewings with the car here in the showroom. But yeah, I'd want to move quick on this because when I had when I had the chicane grey car in stock, there were probably about 7 other coupes up for sale. So it's just quite a unique time to be trying to do something with this. And people have more comfort from buying from a dealer. Whereas if you're a private seller trying to sell it, then yeah, you're not going to have people coming to you with finance or with part exchanges. Whereas I can offer all these services. So yeah, let me know. Have a think about it. But I really do think time is of the essence. I can get you back more than what you're actually asking for it. Ooh. Also, what's the market on the 992 GT3 RS like?
What's that noise mean? Tell us, what does that mean, George?
It means he's just offered his second supercar to me without even giving us his first. But let's not go to him straight away. Let's not show we're too keen. We are very keen in buying and selling cars, but it's a bit of a mind game when it comes to sales. He's sending me pictures of a 3RS already. He believes in my ability to take his car and sell it for him as quick as possible. We will deliver. Now, let's see what he's got to say. Sounds good. We'll be there tomorrow. What time shall we come down? I will be around in the office most of the day. What time suits you? I'll keep it free in my diary. He sent me a nice picture of both of his cars side by side. If you want to come and have a quick peek. So that's his LT, and over there is his GT3 RS 992. And just like that, with one phone call, we've built a relationship.
George, what's happening?
So we were meant to get that 765 LT dropped off to us today. Unfortunately, he's been tied up in some meetings. So we're going to go one step further. We are going to collect the car from him on a trailer. Now, it's wishful thinking. We don't normally do same-day pickups, but it's a fairly special car. So let's give Mo a quick call. It's not too far from us, actually. He's only in Chelsea. Let's see what Mo's got to say. How's it going, Mo? You all right?
Yeah, good, thanks.
Right, I need to call in a very quick favour, please.
Okay.
Is there any chance we can get this LT collected from Chelsea today?
The LT as well, from Chelsea.
765 LT from Chelsea.
Yeah, of course, George. Get that for you.
Okay, perfect. What time do you think we could do it?
I should be there between 5 and 6.
Amazing. All right, I'll send you his number now. You've got his address. It's
Yeah, absolutely.
Perfect.
I know exactly where we're going. Yeah.
Amazing. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Perfect. No worries, George.
Cheers.
Thank you.
Bye.
Cheers now.
Brilliant. We'll get that LT in stock today. So it's absolutely manic at the moment because it's deadline day.
It's deadline day!
Now that means that it's the last day a player is going to switch clubs, and our friends over at Sports World have just told us that there's a player who's come to London and he is looking for a car. Let's give him a call.
Hi, George, mate.
Hi,
Thanks
Ross.
for calling me back.
That's all right. How are you?
I'm good, thanks. How are you, mate?
I'm all good, thanks. Well, I'm excited to hear you've got always given me this inside knowledge. Who's moving now to London?
Right, so I've got a young player who's coming over to London. He's just a young guy. It's all happening very quickly, but contracts are being signed and he's looking to basically pick up a car pretty sharpish, within the next day or two.
Okay, all right. Do you know what he's looking for?
Yeah, so he's not driven in London before. He needs something that's quite usable. Before in Germany, he had a G-Wagon, so he's open to a G-Wagon or a Urus.
Or a
I know
Urus.
obviously you have lots of different options.
I'm
but
standing in
what would
between
you-
both
what
of
have
them.
you
I'm
got?
literally sandwiched in between a Lamborghini Urus S and a facelift G63. So I've got both of the perfect cars for him. But just thinking about it, we're on the verge of selling this G63 and it's quite special. And I think this might excite him a bit because it's the latest facelift. Really hard to get from Mercedes at the moment. There's a bit of a waiting list on them. And they're going for Rovers. But this is the black carbon edition. And I just know footballers love their carbon. So it's got carbon all over the front, all over the side, the mirror caps, the rear wheel cover, everything has carbon on this. And it's black with a red interior. Do you know much about his car that he had in Germany?
I don't know exactly which edition it was, but I know that we've done so many of the carbon editions. Like the players absolutely love the carbon all over the body. That sounds absolutely perfect.
Okay.
I'll tell you what, I'm gonna forward on to him. In fact, no, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna set up a group. I'll introduce you to Matthias directly, and
Okay.
let's have a conversation because I think that would probably be the one for him. And we'll get him
Amazing.
sorted
Do
nice and quick.
you know how quick he's looking to move?
Literally in the next 24 hours, probably.
Really? So contracts and everything are signed?
Yeah, everything's going through. It's never done till it's done, but it's all happening as we speak. So I think this one's going to be done.
Amazing. Okay. Love a transfer day deadline deal, both sides on a football club and with cars. So keep them coming, Ross. Appreciate it, mate.
Absolutely. I'm sure we'll be speaking soon again, mate. Thanks very much for
All
your
right.
help.
Speak soon. Take care. Cheers.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Deadline day deals. That's how we love them. So you guys may have seen last night that I was on the phone to Mo and asked him, can you do a last minute collection straight into the city and pick up this 765 LT? Lo and behold, he delivered. The car is sat here right now, and wow, that is one way to brighten up the day. When the skies are grey, don't fare because your McLaren 765 LT will brighten it all up. This paintwork is tremendous. I love this. I see a lot of people actually wrapping their cars in a very similar colour nowadays, but I tell you what, this is one of 765 in the world, so it'd be rude to not take it out for a spin. Let's go. lo and behold, the 765 LT. Now, you know how much of a fan of McLarens I am, but the LT just picks the game up to another level. So we're just heading over to our preparation unit, come from the showroom. Let's have the guys take a look at this, give it a quick detail, get it ready for the pictures. And that noise from that V8 bi-turbo. I tell you what doesn't go amiss on these, it's probably a sports exhaust. That would just set this over the edge. I just love that firm suspension that you get in the LTs. The 720s were great, but there's always missing something that made it a bit special. And this is what it is. Firm suspension, higher revs on the gears, just puts a smile on your face. I mean, you get quite a few different customers who'd be buying this. I mean, someone may just want a track-focused car that is awesome to use on the road, which is why you've got comfort seats in this, but obviously it's got the track suspension, gear ratio set up. Or secondly, bearing in mind there's only 765 cars in the world, and when you come to right-hand drive UK spec cars, there's not many. So I personally think it could be a long-term investment. The prices of these have come off a fair bit, and I think long-term these have got to go up. So I've seen a lot of people, like we were mentioning last time in the podcast, that they're just buying 675s and locking them away. Right guys, what a week that was. Busy, yet successful. So hopefully you guys got to have a bit of an insight as to how we do business behind closed doors. You got to see how we get cars into stock, how we actually sell them and get them out of the showroom doors. And if you guys have a car that you're looking to sell or even buy, you want it featured on this episode of Behind the Scenes next week, click the sticker below, send me a DM, and you could be having your car sold in no time. Until then, see you next week.